Hello everybody, how are you today? It is Greg Whispering Storyteller here, as always. I hope you are well. For anybody who has not visited my channel before, it is here to help you sleep, unwind and relax. And if I can hit any of those three objectives in any way, then it is mission accomplished. So hello, how are you all? We are another week in November now, and today is Sunday the 7th of November, and I hope you are all doing well. So as always, this is just a weekly catch up and a weekly whisper, soft spoken, just to kind of talk about how the week has been for me, and just engaging with you as well to see how you are all doing too. A very, very strange week indeed. So Monday gone, my mother asked me if I wanted to go to York with her, which is a beautiful historical city, about an hour away or so, not even that really by train. But yeah, we just go Christmas shopping, maybe get some stuff for the family, and have a few beers. My mother does like to have a drink, and we just take in the ambience of the festivities, because it's quite Christmassy in York at that time of year, with all of the old buildings and all of the Christmas markets on display. If you ever get the chance to go to York, it is absolutely beautiful. So we booked up and I paid the train tickets, and we were looking forward to it. But then on Monday, I started to get a bit of a bad head. It was kind of here on my temples, just a dull throbbing pain in my head. And as the day went on, I started to feel a little bit of sinus issues as well. So it was kind of here, right in my forehead, and deep in my nose. And I started to feel very tired and lethargic. And I knew I was at work on Tuesday morning, but I didn't think anything of it. I thought it's the onset of a cold. So I went to bed, had a really poor night's sleep, tossed and turned all night. I was freezing, I was hot, coughing. You know where this is going, don't you? Tuesday morning I got up and went to work at Amazon, and part of our routine morning and had an appointment to go for my PCR test at 10 past 10. So I did the whole swab thing up the nose, what we all hate, and sent it off, gave it back to them, went back to work. So I went through all Tuesday feeling pretty rough. Went home on Tuesday night, and again I had a really rubbish night's sleep. Coughing, all of that jazz. I started watching Squid Game actually on Tuesday night. I was that tired, I just couldn't even do anything, so I just sat and watched TV. I'll get onto Squid Game in a little bit, but on Wednesday morning I dragged myself up again and went to work, and I went to work in 3 different departments in one day. That's kind of what it's like in Amazon. You never know where they're going to put you. So I was moved to 3 different tasks, if you like, throughout the day. And I just remember feeling very, very weak and listless. And my eyes continued to be itchy and sore. And people were commenting on the coughing that I was doing. And I just put it down to a little bit of cold, seasonal cold, changing of the seasons, that kind of thing. So I finished work on Wednesday, went home and literally just crashed once again. I fell asleep and it was just cold, couldn't get warm. And then I got a message to my phone saying that my test results had been returned and I had a positive testing of COVID-19. That threw me because I've been on the firing line with COVID since it all began. So I've been an essential worker, or classed as an essential worker, the whole time. I was working in retail with the public. Half the staff had COVID back in the day. Customers would come in without masks on, that whole kind of period in time where we had to challenge people and monitor the amount of people that were in the store. This was during the lockdowns of 2020, and you know what, I never once got COVID, not once. And then all of a sudden I did have it, and I just couldn't believe it, because in Amazon I have to wear a face mask all of the time, and gloves, and adhere to 2-meter distancing. So it explained all of the symptoms I was having was actually a COVID outbreak. I was told I received a telephone call from my HR department on Wednesday night, a lovely young lady, and she advised me to stay home and not go out. She told me not to return to work until they told me I could. It was quite weird to be told that. And she also told me that they were notifying the NHS track and trace system. So I realised then that I couldn't do anything So I've spent Thursday and Friday and Saturday, it's now Sunday, so my 4th day of being in the house. And I still can't believe it's happened at this point in time and not before. It's given me a chance to kind of relax a little bit, if anything, but work have assured me that it won't affect my probationary period in Amazon, which is actually due up this week, coincidentally. So I'm just following all guidelines and staying home, and that also means not going to York for Christmas shopping with my mother. And that's such a shame. I was so looking forward to going there because it's such a great place to be. But what can we do with these things? Not a great deal. So sorry to give you all of these, talking to you about my sickness and my ailments. But it's just the truth. It's how things have been this week. A very strange kind of 50-50, one side of it being completely normal, going to work and feeling a little poorly, to the latter half where I had COVID and I was at home. And that's it really. I've been watching a lot of television. I've been watching Squid Game, as I mentioned. I'm 5 or 6 episodes in now. Really addictive. I really like it. Really simple too, isn't it? I heard that there's some. So I'm up to the part now where they've gone back, they left the games, and they went back to their normal lives, but they were struggling with their finances and the problems they were having in their everyday lives. So they all agreed to go back. And of course, with the Squid Games, nothing is predictable, and they now can eliminate each other. So every night at lock-up, when they go to bed, there is an attack from the opposing side. So we've got the two tribes of the competitors. So they've had the tug-of-war game, they've had the, I also know that they are dealing with some kind of organ, selling of human organs. But I need to goes from green to blue to white. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And goes back to pink, so it goes through all of the spectrums. It's called a mystical colour changing globe. I'll put it in the description if you're suggest that he starts looking at having a theme to his video. Doesn't have to be exactly like the Queen of Tapping, but he could do his own thing. Yeah, but please do check out the ASMR Bandit. I'll put his details on the screen. If he had any more great ideas for his channel, or help to shape it, I'm sure he would love to hear them and have a conversation